Hey guys. Hi Commander, how you doing today?
Hi, Cap. I'm doing amazing. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good.
We are here with another top 10, and I know you guys are fans of top 10, but you know what I'm a fan of? I'm a fan of fan films, and I'm a fan of Samuel. Take it away.
Fan film ships. These are the original ships made for fan films by fans, or sometimes, well, fans are in the process. Sometimes made professionally by other people. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, fan film ships. We love fan films, and people have asked us to do top 10 fan films, but that's difficult because we work with everybody and everyone loves us because we work with everybody. So we thought top 10 fan ships, which is a good way around that. Plus, there are some great designs out there. Anyway, I'm interested for your list, Stuart. I'm interested.
I think you're going to really enjoy my list, actually, and probably be
Fan-
surprised by much of it.
Okay. You hear that, audience?
Number,
Fun is about to be had.
number 5 is going to be the Icarus. Scott Nakata did a great job designing that ship. Looks part Klingon, part Prometheus, part Defiant. Like they all kind of had an orgy and had this thing popped out.
It's a fun orgy.
Maybe looks kind of all pointy and ouchy, but anyway, pretty cool ship. Great capabilities. A lot we haven't seen, and a lot of little surprises that are probably in store for us for future installments.
That's worth pointing out. That's from Star Trek Renegades.
Didn't I say that?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't say that. Apparently.
Star Renegades.
Sorry. Anyway, but yes, Scott Nakata I think did a great job with that, and I absolutely. If you haven't checked out our episode on this, the Icarus, designing the Icarus, go do it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 4 for me would be the Klingon battlecruiser from Renegades. The futuristic Klingon take or design that was done by Tobias Richter. Very beautiful lines. I mean, we've had a chance to look at the orthos of this ship and the model close up, and there's some fantastic detail on it. And it's a great evolution of a Klingon design, and I'm absolutely in love with this ship. I need to see more of it.
Yeah.
It needs to be in the next Star Trek series or something, and I need to see a lot more of it because I absolutely love it.
We'll be doing an episode on it quite soon-ish, so that'll be fun.
Indeed.
Spoiler.
Cool.
Wow. We love Renegades. I worked on Renegades, so we love Renegades.
That's true. Let's go to number 3, and my 3 and 4, they're kind of interchangeable. And as such, I have an arrow between them. But right now, number 3 would have to be the Archer. Yep. Cool Federation ship, also from Renegades. So there's 3 Renegade ships in a row right there.
Well done, Renegades.
Exactly. Plus, Rick Sternbach helped design this ship.
Yep.
Or did design it. Did you design the whole thing or just help?
Well, it's on my list too, so I'll do the full brief when I get to it.
Spoilers again.
Wow.
All right. It's again a nice evolution for Federation design. Kind of a smaller, compact ship. Not as big as a Galaxy class, but it's got a nice look to it. It's kind of a nice progression as far as I am concerned. The interior leaves something to be desired, but that's just because of budget constraints and stuff. And I know they're working on that, especially for the next installment. So
it's a great jumping off point.
Yeah, I know I'm going to hear that in the comments. Number 2 for me.
Number 2
is the Ares from Axanar. Well, hopefully from Axanar. From Prelude to
Axanar. Yeah.
Designed by Sean Turinjo and Tobias Richter and Alec Peters.
Just a sprinkling of Alec Peters there, just the initial concept layout.
Yeah. So, an excellent addition to the Star Trek lineup, especially for a TOS era ship. It's something that definitely fits in with the world and almost is like right out of the pages of Franz Joseph technical manuals. Like when Franz Joseph was taking his technical manual to the publisher, that page blew out, and it's just we never got that. And Alec Peters found it and sent it to himself in the future, and here we have the Ares now. So it's all worked out. It's a predestination paradox.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
I know, right?
And dare I say, kit bashy or not? Because I don't think it feels kit bashy.
Not at all. I don't think there's no recognizable parts. The engines are their own design.
Yeah.
The saucer, it's a saucer. You can only do so much with it. But the secondary hull doesn't look like anything else we've seen. It's kind of a Beetle-like appearance almost. And I think it's just a great take. The only real problem I have is with the deflector dish kind of being.
But we've talked about that in our Axanar Ares Part 1, 2, and 3.
That's right. So check those out too, guys. Lots of Trekyards awesomeness.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not very kit bashy almost at all, which is a hell of an impressive feat given TOS kind of has that habit of, it's a kit bash, it's a, so that well done those guys, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your number one.
Number one is Pacific 201.
Wow.
An
Well done,
amazing,
Eric.
amazing looking ship. Yeah, that's from Pacific 201. And it's, again, it's a really nice take on a TOS ship, but it's pre-TOS.
hmm
And all the ships we've seen for that show so far, even the Daedalus class redesign, are
Yeah,
just
that was.
amazing.
Mhm.
Incredibly well done. And I think the Pacific 201, I'm pretty sure it's a smaller ship.
Oh yeah, it's pretty small as far as I can see.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of little. It's not as smooth and as
Mhm.
sleek as a regular Federation ship from that era. It's kind of got things sticking off
Well,
of it.
it's quite a lot before any of the eras that we know, so it's its own era, pretty much.
Yeah, and I just think that's gonna be a fantastic addition to the Star Trek ship family. I can't wait to see that thing on screen and see
hmm
some slow flybys and things. I think it's going to be incredible. So that is my list of fan favorite ship designs.
Or fan film design,
Fan
ship
film,
designs.
fan created, fan ship design singles. Anyway,
Good
segue
list.
to your list.
Okay, thank you. My number five is the USS Archer from Renegades. It's a true, or it was a true collaboration of artists. The one and only Rick Sturbuck laid the groundwork for Scott Nakada to then mould the pieces into his own, and then Tobias took it and brought it to life for Renegades. It is a very familiar ship, yet different. New shapes, which push the Federation aesthetic further, yet in more of a cruiser route than the much more aggressive Prometheus route, which I really like because we don't always want just the points. We want something, want to see what that natural evolution is. This ship I can definitely see existing in the universe, and I think that really speaks to a good design when after a few minutes you sort of accept the ship as part of the universe, and you just instinctively let it go. It's like, yep, makes sense. That amounts to Tobias's work, and everyone's it's designed by the artists that design the ships, and all that put together, but still that's a sign of a good design. I love all the little details and all the little additions. And from working with Renegades, I've got nice and close to the model thanks to Tobias, and seen some good details. So a lot of great stuff. So that's why I like Archer as my number five. My number four is the Klingon D6 from Axanar. What came between the Enterprise D5 and the famous D7? Well, Tobias invented the perfect D6 in my mind, and we've seen the Starfleet Museum FASA design. Not as good. The D6, this one, Tobias is a bit kitbashy, but done so elegantly, amazingly. It has parts of the unused D4 with the engines, but the overall design, I think the overall design speaks of a fan having fun and creating something that he thinks would make sense, and that is what we love here at Trekyards. It's such a good melding. It just makes sense, and that's great. Really great design, and I wish we could have seen her in canon because she fits in like a glove. But even if we never do, we still get Axanar, at least Predator Axanar, and great to see her flying around. Kick-ass ship.
And if you haven't checked out our episode about that, do that also,
Yep.
because we talk about the original FASA design that he touched on,
hmm
and we explain why they're different, because they could be possible. It's the same ship, just a variant.
Yeah, and look at our episode we talk about talking with Tobias about how he designed it, where I actually
Yeah.
break up the orthos into pieces and show what piece he took from what. But when you put it all together, it's just he knew what he was doing, but he always does. So anyway, number three is the Icarus from Renegades. I think she works. When we worked with Scott on the episode for Icarus, I really had to look at every detail of this ship, and I really do like it. It takes a little bit of time to, I think, get there, because she is so different. But I still think she feels Trek. The edges of Trek aesthetic, maybe, but it still feels Trek. And a great concept by Scott Nakada. Having worked on Renegades on behind the scenes, I know how many iterations he had to go through with Sky Conway and the producers to work out what the Icarus was going to be, and to see it evolve and work through that. And again, see the great 3D model, which was done by Roland Barron, great artist. He put so much love and attention into that model. Really, I mean, he put out months and months and hours just getting all the little bumps and bruises and details. And if you have the Renegades Blu-ray or DVD, please check out the featurette I made on the design of the Icarus, because it's very interesting. We speak to Roland for a good half an hour. But yeah, fantastic model, and Tobias managed to bring it to life and do some amazing shots with her in Renegades. Although, that said, and speaking to Scott about this, I wish we could have seen more shots of it firing all its weapons, because we know how many guns it has, and it would have looked so cool. But hopefully that's a future movie or episode potential for that great ship.
The thing I want to say right here real quick is that we here at Trekyards, we get to work with these designers and we get to look at these ships a lot.
Yeah.
So we have a different appreciation for them than somebody that just watched the show maybe once.
Yeah.
And, see this ship on the screen for a total of like 2 minutes with different cutscenes, right? You don't see it a lot. And so you kind of got this mental block as to what you think about the ship. It's very kit bashy or whatever. But when you actually look at the design quite a bit and you speak to the designers about how the process came about, we have a very unique appreciation for these ships, and we kind of bring in that to this episode. So I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to put that in here.
I absolutely agree. I mean, these ships are more than just the physical appearance. There's part of what we love about ship design is the thought behind it. Anyone can just throw pieces at, put a Sovereign neck with a Prometheus front with deadless, don't know what deadless engines. It's like, oh, it's a cool looking ship. It's not a cool looking ship, but then you ask why, and they're like, oh, it looked cool, and we're like, that's not practical, that's not realistic, that's not Federation. I mean, when people put the thought in, Scott did put a lot of thought in with these designs, iterations and building, and Scott is a very good thinker of these things. There's so much more to it, and you really appreciate the ship. Then you see the details and you love the thought, because that's what we love. Anyway, my number 2, and I'm glad we share this one, is the USS Ares from Axnar. She's a beautiful TOS era design, super sleek, and carries off her rather different design profile with poise and some kick-assness, as we see in Prelude. Starfleet's first pure warship. Come on, 4 torpedo launchers on the front in a cool submarine style. Really awesome. And again, Tobias's model is beautiful. Great work on Sean for designing, and then Alex's ideas, and then the moulding. Another great amalgamation of work, but she comes across so beautiful. We really want to see a TMP refit and such. I have actually seen one from a fan of ours. Sent it in. Looks great. Yeah, great design. And as we've said in the episode, it's a great precursor to the Centaur. Yeah, and I can't wait to sit down with Alec again to discuss even more of her ins and outs. Beautiful ship. But my number 1... Are you ready for this ship?
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you straight away, it's not a Federation ship, which I'm sure surprises you a little bit, because I'm quite a Fed person. My number 1 of fan film designs is the Klingon battlecruiser from Renegades. I absolutely adore this design. It's a refreshing yet familiar redesign of the D7 Yet Katinga, pushing it into the post-Voyager era. John Eves designed her. Says it all. Amazing guy, which is great because he designed the earliest Klingon and the latest Klingon ship. I love that. Obviously, his style was a more aggressive, pointy motif, and I think he created something that really is interesting that Tobias then took and built a beautiful model, added his own little details, and really fleshed out. And all that together, I think you have some magic in Renegades. I mean, it does stand out, I think, as just what we wanted to see for next Katinga, because that design has been around for a long time, and to make a new version of an old classic, that's hard, and I think they absolutely got it pitch perfect, and I can't wait to see her more. Yeah, and we've talked to Scott and Nakata about this ship quite a lot, including some new details, possibly, which will go into a full episode because we do love this design, and we've had our own 3D model built of the ship by the one and only, the amazing Michael Wheely, who's done some of our other great ships. So that will be a fantastic episode of Trekyards, and I'm excited to make it and play with the renders. I mean, come on. You saw it in Renegades fight the Icarus and Archer, but don't you want to see it blow up a Sovereign or a Prometheus? I mean, who knows?
Yes, well, impressive list, I gotta say. But it's honorable mention time.
Yep.
Mine, I don't know if you consider it a cheat or not, but I'm looking at Of Gods and Men, and I'm liking the Mirror Universe, Connie and Dreadnought. Yep. I know they're just TOS ships, basically from Franz Joseph, but the way they've kind of added a few things to them, and the color palette they chose, I love them. And everybody knows I'm a TOS fan. See, TOS. Anyway, so I don't know if that's a cheat, but
I think the TOS Connie, the one we see, has that new weapons pod at the bottom, and that's enough of a redesign, with all the new paint and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'll give that to you. Yeah. Absolutely. That's
why I put 2 in there, just so in case it was a cheat.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. I do that because I'm the captain, and I always pick more than one honorable mention. Anyway, what's your honorable mention?
My one is USS Yorktown from Yorktime, A Time to Heal, because it's a great looking design. The film will be great when it comes out. Come on, you got Sulu when he was Sulu in it. And it's a ship designed by Andrew Probert, built by Roland Barron as well. Great looking CGI. Obviously had a bit of good thought behind her. She's clearly TMP mixed with TOS, details of each, into this really cool ship that again fits beautifully into the era. And I'm just excited to see what she comes up with in the movie. when eventually it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. That one didn't even cross my mind, but
I went for a TOS one. But yeah, the Pacific 2-1 didn't cross my mind either. I'm not sure why. I always found it was a little bit too radically not Trek, but that's still the era, so I'm fine with it, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't fit my aesthetic tastes in the purest sense. It's so difficult to explain, but I absolutely get why, and I love you for choosing that. But yeah.
awesome list. I gotta say, overall, I'm kind of surprised, especially that Klingon Major #1, even though it's an amazing Klingon ship.
Yeah.
And another thing I just want to point out too is a lot of times when we're prepping for episodes, you and I, you create the orthos with the original models or whatever, and we get a chance to actually look at them and talk about them before we do the episodes, so we can pick out details and stuff to talk about. And again, I encourage you guys, if you're not really a fan of a ship or you see something you kind of like, I encourage you to take a closer look at the ship and talk with a friend about it, because they pull out details that you may not have seen, and you have a nice conversation back and forth. You learn to appreciate certain aspects of those ships without even really thinking about it. You're just having a discussion.
Yeah.
And I've acquired a great appreciation for a lot of Star Trek ships over the course of making Trekyards.
Really have,
that I
yeah.
never really thought about twice. And they're okay ships, but after we do the episode on them and look at them ad nauseum, we kind of get a greater appreciation for them, and I'm actually very pleased that I do that. So I encourage you guys to do that as well.
I think the fact that we rarely have an episode of Trekyards where we end up saying, "Oh, just don't like that ship," says that even if aesthetically it's not our favourite, there's so many bits and pieces that just raise it in our opinion. That says so much about these designs. Although I want to point out one fun little thing here. So we basically had similar lists, which is great. Kind of funny though that the Klingon battlecruiser, the Ares, the D6, and the Archer was all physically built by Tobias, or rendered by Tobias. Icarus is rendered by Tobias. So a lot of Tobias's work here. So well done. You kind of do. We do sing your praises on the show a bit because you have a lot of this great talent. You understand the design process, which is why we love talking to you. And we'll talk to you about all these ships at a later date, I'm sure. But yeah, so well done Tobias for being our basic all over list.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you guys have a lot of homework to do. We've talked about a lot of these ships. We've done episodes on them, so I'm probably going to put those links in the description below. I want you to check out those episodes if you haven't already, because you're going to learn some great stuff. And you too might find these ships a little bit more interesting to you.
I think they will. Honestly, I think they will.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, that is it for this week's top 10. Tune in next week for another one. We've got a lot more to do, a lot of great fan submissions that we'll probably end up doing. So who knows? Who knows?
Someone knows.
Someone does. But who?
You would think the captain would know, because he's
you would
kind
think.
of in charge of everything.
Or is it the fleet admiral? Who knows?
I don't know what's going on now.
See you next week, guys. Bye.